Hello, hi, my name's Sandra, and today I'll be talking about fibroids, the cabbage kind, as part of the Understand to Heal series. Just a short disclaimer to say I am not a healthcare professional, neither am I a doctor, but I am a nutritionist who's previously suffered from the condition and has used natural therapies to bring about remission. So I'd like to share that with you today. So what will we be covering? We'll look at what inflammation is and how we'll tackle that in the healing process, the healthy budget options, the inspiration behind this presentation, a look at a research study that's relevant to fibroids, look at and how we can apply that to diet as therapy. We'll look how to monitor the progress and an application of that, and conclude with a summary. Okay, so let's begin. Okay, so what is inflammation? Well, inflammation is particularly it's a type of damage to the cell. So externally we know it is when externally we know that we're inflamed is because we can actually see it. We can actually see the redness and see any praise that's been caused from bruising. But when it happens internally, it's not so apparent. However, as you can see in the diagram, it will usually can cause swelling. If it's happening in our uterus type area, it'll cause swelling, and the main indication of any kind of inflammation really is pain, and that's pain that could be a contributing factor from being either overweight or obese, or it might be high blood pressure, or it might be something to do with the heart, coronary, anything like that, anything that's causing inside of us to swell and to be in an inflammatory condition. As you can see in the diagram, this one's showing inflammation as caused from bacteria that's entered into the womb, leaving rise to a condition called endometriosis. So tackling the healing process, as I said, it's looking at inflammation, isn't it? So for what we need to do, it may mean for some of us, it might mean a radical change to the diet, as well as a physical exercise, a radical overhaul. For some it might just mean small tweaks. But the key thing is to start, and it's to start making small changes that can be positive steps towards the well-being process. So in terms to do that, we're going to have to think holistically. You're going to have to look at your mind overall, look at the body overall, as well as the spirit, to achieve the best long-term health results and well-being. And that way we will give rise to balance in our life. So healthy budget options, well, what can they be? We're going to have to look at, focus on key aspects in the body. So as I said, it's the diet and the physical exercise. They're the key things that can help. Try and incorporate high nutrient type foods into your diet that are economically priced, and that will be able to store well for prolonged periods. And also you can add movement. More movement, as we said, is very important throughout the day. Trying to leave the car at home if you can. Dancing around the home, that's always good. Getting the whole body movement. And also, just simple things like not using a remote to turn your television over if you have one. Maybe sometimes leave, instead of using the remote all the time, maybe one time go up and turn the telly over and sit down. All that is getting your whole body moving. So when your whole body moves, that's a weight-bearing exercise, because you're having to use your whole body to lift you up, and that's good if you can do that on a consistent basis, and that all adds to the amount of exercise you do throughout the day. So what is the main reason I chose this one, the inspiration, this food? Well, the leaves are mentioned in the Bible. However, the main reason I chose this one was because of the colour, and the colour is purple, which usually denotes royalty or a high position. And that's because I believe that you are a queen. We are all queens in our own rights, and we're priceless beyond any measure. And so we've got to be intentional in all areas of our life, what we're eating, physically, and also our spiritual growth. Because you matter. Take the time for you. Okay. When I looked at a research study, that used a component that comes from the cabbage family, and that's called indolin 3-carbonyl, or I3C for short. It's an active dimer. It's found in the Bacillus or cabbage family, the cruciferous family, and it's anti-inflammatory, has anti-inflammatory qualities. It's also been shown to suppress estrogen receptor cancer growth in test tubes, and also they found in this study that it works synergistically when used with soya as well. So the estrogen receptor type cancer growth that some of us may be very familiar with are the things like endometrial cancers, which is in the womb, uterus cancer, and also breast cancers. They're estrogen receptor cancers. So if we were to apply that study to diet as therapy, we can see there the cabbage comes in various types. The purple cabbage, there's also the white cabbage, there's also the green cabbage, the Savoy cabbage, all different types of cabbages. They all have the I3C, the indolin 3-carbonyl, and also the sulfururethane, which is an antiprolific agent, which is helps with stopping the spread of any untoward cells, damaging cells, tumor type cells. The particular thing about the purple cabbage is that it has also got what I talked about in a previous video. It's also got the anthocyanins, which is seen in grapes, which is known to have anti-fibrotic activity. So that's seems to have quite a few different healing agents in the purple cabbage. Another thing is it's a very economical health food if you compare it to for cabbage, something like broccoli or even berries and things like that. It's very competitively priced, and it has a very long shelf life. So if you was to have someone put it in the fridge, you don't have to worry about in 2 or 3 days' time its leaves would have wilted and it lost a lot of its nutritional value, because it is so tightly compact and it holds a lot of its nutrients. So it can stay in your fridge for at least a couple of weeks. I mean, I've had mine in the fridge for at least a couple of weeks, and when I've gone to eat it, it's been fine. So if we're going to have a look at the nutritional value, you can see that on the cabbage it's quite low in calories. This is per 100 grams. It's only 29 kilocalories, so that's a good one to include in your diet if you're looking for weight management. It's low in protein. It does have some protein. It's virtually no fat, and the vitamin C content is 34.4 milligram. One thing to say about the vitamin C: if you are eating cabbage, if you are boiling the cabbage, vitamin C has a tendency to leach into the water. So if you, rather than throw the cabbage water away, it might be more beneficial for you to put it in the fridge, let it cool down, put it in the fridge, drink it at a later time, because quite a lot of the nutrients can leach out into the water, and you will see that the colour would have turned quite dark purple. So that's kind of an indication to say that there's some good stuff in there that you could possibly use for a later date, drink at a later date. So as with anything, if you're going to introduce any new food into your diet, it's always a good idea to monitor, check for tolerance levels, make sure you don't have any skin or any other types of reactions. Again, discontinue use, seek medical advice if you have any adverse effects. It might be that you might need to have to go for some kind of a detox if you're not tolerating something, something like cabbage, because but you know, that's something that you might have to look into a bit further. We do produce a free day food diary that is available for download if you want to kind of track what you're eating, as just to give you a better insight. And if you do ever go to visit a nutritionist or so forth, they're clear on what you've been eating in the previous days, so they can really help you further, or I can really help you further wherever you're going, whatever you take. So as I said, as applying the diet as therapy, we're going to apply the DATE IT acronym, the DATE IT philosophy, which basically means diet as therapy, embrace it. It means it needs to be quick and easy to make, easily obtained food, healthy eating made simple, and hopefully the aim is to get glowing skin, a healthy heart, and healthy blood sugar levels, and feel like you're in a raw class all by yourself. So what we've produced now is the coleslaw recipe, which is available, the Queen Slaw, because we are royal. Okay, the Queen Slaw recipe, which is available for the first 100 subscribers as a free download, so you can introduce this into your diet and feel really good while you're doing it. So in summary, inflammation is one of the key components in the development of uterine fibroids. Cabbage contains bioavailable substances such as I3C and sulforaphane that reduces inflammation and suppresses abnormal cell and tumour growth. Purple cabbage is a low carbohydrate, low cost, healthy option with a range of nutritional benefits that can contribute to uterine, bone and heart health. So thank you for watching, and please subscribe. Just a short disclaimer, this presentation is intended for information only. Further research is recommended to assist you in making an informed health decision. It is not a substitute for medical advice. If you have a pre-existing medical condition, please consult your doctor and healthcare provider before making any changes to your medical results to your wellness.